So I'm having a chat with Benjamin Francis Leftwich. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
Not too bad, thanks so much. So, you have been busy releasing some new music. We've been playing a new single of yours called New York. Tell us a little bit about the single, first of all.
Yeah, New York is a song. I originally started writing it kind of as a almost like a joke country song. I remember during the pandemic, I was living with my girlfriend. I just jammed this idea that's basically the verse of New York, and I was like, "Oh, that's actually kind of sick. Can you get a quick voice memo?" And she voice memoed it for me, and then I forgot about it. And then I was on Zoom writing with my friend Josh Finn, who's an artist called Wounded Bear, and I bought the voice memo in, and we just wrote the whole thing kind of pretty quick. And it's a simple song, about kind of running to big shiny cities for shiny things and then getting there and feeling lonely and surrounded by the concrete and missing the humanity and the imperfection of where I've run from.
Mm, yeah, I can imagine. And that's coming off your new record, Some Things Break, coming out on the February the 9th. What can people expect when they get a chance to take a listen?
Um, it's if anyone's listened to my music before, it's still me, but I definitely think it's a departure sonically. We worked with an amazing record producer called Jimmy Hogarth, who's a good friend of mine. Me and him had written lots of songs with other artists, and he's worked with everyone from Paolo Nutini to Amy Winehouse to Sia, and just did the new Anoni record. So he's a really classic producer creatively, but also sonically. There's like a depth to what he does, and I'm really in love with an album called Midair by a singer called Paul Buchanan, who was a singer in the Blue Nile, and we set out with the intention of wanting to do a pretty minimal piano vocal album. So there's a lot more piano on it. And I think lyrically I'm hiding less, I'm kind of going straight for the heart, and less metaphor. I think it's quicker into the bloodstream, this album. And it's really just a kind of an album about surrendered acceptance that like some things ain't gonna work, and that's all right. It's pretty uh surrendered is the only word I can really think to
Mm.
describe it.
Yeah, yeah, good. And this will be your fifth record now. How have you evolved as an artist since your debut back in 2011?
Yeah, it's crazy that it's my fifth. I can't believe I'm still doing it, man. I feel so lucky. I feel like a kid in a candy shop. And I think I've just, sometimes people ask me, "Oh, what do you do in your personal life?" And I'm like, write songs and talk about music with my friends and be on the phone all night with other producers and songwriters. And so I think my heart has naturally evolved, as a human being and like growing up. And the path, the spiritual path I've been walking in, the fellowship I'm a part of, has really, the result of it has been that I rely on myself less, and therefore my fear has been lessened. So I think, in answer to your question, um, I'm in less fear around what other people are going to think, and about, I was always afraid of singing words like love or about this kind of thing. And actually, it's what I think about most of the time. So I think, um, my spirit and my mouth are more connected, and there's less I'm in the way less, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And when it comes to writing for you, how do tracks normally start off?
It really depends. Like, there's a song on the album called Spokane, Washington, where I had pretty much all the verses written before I took it in with my brother Mickey Echo. So sometimes a lyric will just land on me and I'll just write it down in my notes on my phone. Sometimes I'll be just jamming the guitar and a melody will come. Sometimes I'll have the title, like the one of the singles we put out called Break in the Weather. I had the title before I wrote the song. My friend Matty Smith gave me um the title. And so I mean, you know how it is, man. There's no rule really. I just got to keep my radar on and be ready. The less crafty I am with it, at least in the conception period, the better.
Yeah, for sure. And regarding the lyrics side of things, how easy do you find it to write lyrics to the music you make?
I find it really hard, and that I think that's why it takes me a few years to make an album. I mean, I could write a lyric, but there's a difference between writing a lyric and writing a good lyric, and it being something that. But as cheesy as this sounds, man, all I've got is like, what's the truth? If I'm singing a lyric like "I love you" or something as simple as that, if I really believe it when I'm singing it, and in the context of the song, it's the truth. then my answer is normally there, you know. And I normally write more songs than what I need for the album. So I think, you know, it's funny. I've got an artist round at mine, an amazing artist called Bonnie Kemplay. She's downstairs at the moment, and we're about to write a song. And we were just speaking about this, and I think so many songwriters have that seed land on them, like, oh, this is amazing verse, I love this. But then it's like the craft bit and the science bit and the maths bit is when you need to stare it down, and when that initial spirit has left the room. So I should probably get better at really trying to finish something the night it lands, but sometimes they often land late at night, you know, so I can get a bit tired and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You were heading out on tour as well in
Yes.
April. I
Yeah.
can't bet
Yeah.
you can't wait to be on the road again.
Yeah, it'll be good, man. I love being on tour, and I'm, you know, my friend Jamie Squire is coming with me to play piano. My friend Bradley is tour managing, and you know, it's a good crew we've got, and I love playing shows, man. I feel like I'm flying when I'm playing shows. I get very nervous because I have to like, I don't know. I'm just it's as weird as it sounds. I don't like being the center of attention. I can't really think of anything worse than being on stage. But there's something that happens when I sing, where I'm just like in my own world. You know, I feel like I'm flying, and I think that's why I close my eyes when I sing. You know, I can't. I have a great respect for them, but I can't think of anything worse than like being in a play or doing stand up comedy or something. It's just not my thing. You know.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And we're then heading into the summer, which is festival season. Are you hoping to be doing some festivals this year?
Yeah, I'm sure we will be. We're about to announce one little I don't know if it's a festival, but it's a day event in my hometown of York, and I'm sure we will be. Yeah, I love doing festivals, but it's always kind of chaos, you know. And I did so many when I started out. We were doing like three every weekend in 2011 and 12 that I feel like I've been to most of them. So if I go to some of them, then cool. But it's not something uh I'm kind of neutral on it, you know.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure you want to head overseas as well. What's your plan for doing some stuff abroad?
For sure, we'll definitely be going to America and Canada again. And normally we end up going to random places. You know, I've done crazy tours before in like China and Portugal, and
Mm.
I went to Russia once. And so random stuff comes in. And I think because I put out so much music, I'm so lucky that a lot of well, some promoters and organizing kind of people have listened to my music for a while, so we get the randomest things come through. You know, we don't do all of it, but I love an adventure. You know, I love getting on the plane with my friends and going to like, you know, we went to Moscow once. I went played in Guangzhou province in China, and that was pretty crazy. And you know, it's just I love people, man. So I'll go wherever anyone will have me.
Is there anywhere you haven't been to yet that you want to get to at some point?
South America would be cool. I've not been to South America. I'd love to go back to Australia. I've toured there once before, but all my family and cousins and loads of friends there, so I think that could be pretty crazy, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Benjamin, it's been a pleasure having a catch up with you.
You too, Jim. Thank you so much, man.